To understand Hitler's rise, we need to look at the world he emerged into. After World War I, Germany was in ruins. The Treaty of Versailles had imposed crushing penalties. Loss of territory, massive reparations, and military restrictions. The German people felt humiliated and betrayed. The 1920s and early 1930s brought hyperinflation, unemployment, and political chaos. Millions were out of work, starving, and hopeless. The Weimar Republic, a young democratic government, was weak and unpopular. Into this void stepped Adolf Hitler, offering a message of strength, purpose, and restoration. He told people that Germany's suffering was not their fault, but the fault of enemies, both outside and within. For a country desperate for answers, his words were seductive. Hitler was a captivating speaker. Whether in small beer halls or massive stadiums, he had a talent for stirring emotions. His speeches were fiery, filled with nationalistic pride and blame. He positioned himself as a man of the people, someone who understood their pain and promised radical change. He didn't rely on logic or complex ideas. Instead, he used passion, repetition, and clear enemies like the Jews, communists, and the Allied powers. People who felt lost and powerless found identity in his movement. This charisma turned him from a fringe politician into a national force. Once the Nazi Party gained influence, they mastered the use of propaganda. Hitler's image was carefully crafted. Posters, newspapers, radio broadcasts, films, and schoolbooks all carried the same message. The Nazi Party was Germany's future. The message was simple but powerful. Germany had been betrayed, and Hitler was its savior. Through lies and manipulation, the Nazis turned neighbors against each other. The Jewish population was opposition voices were silenced. Propaganda made it easier for the public to accept or ignore the regime's increasing violence. The media was no longer a source of truth. It became a weapon of control. When Hitler came to power in 1933, he introduced major economic reforms. Massive infrastructure projects, like the construction of the Autobahn, created millions of jobs. The economy began to stabilize. People could work again, feed their families, and feel proud to be German. This success, however, came with a dark price. Much of the economic growth was fueled by military spending. Germany was secretly preparing for war. Unions were banned. Workers lost their rights, and dissent was crushed. But many ordinary Germans saw only the surface, a country that was rising again. That surface masked growing brutality underneath. Hitler's government wasn't just authoritarian, it was built on racism, violence, and hate. The Nazis believed in racial purity, and they acted on that belief with horrifying consequences. Jews, Roma, disabled people, political opponents, and many others were targeted. The regime introduced laws that stripped Jewish people of rights, citizenship, and dignity. These early steps were not hidden, they were public policy, and yet many Germans looked the other way or supported it, convinced they were part of something greater. What began with speeches and promises ended with gas chambers and genocide. So, yes, Hitler used economic reform, public speaking, and propaganda effectively, but not for good. His rise reminds us that dangerous people don't always appear as monsters at first. They may promise jobs, pride, and national greatness. They may speak with confidence, and charisma. But when leadership is built on hate and fear, it leads only to destruction. Studying figures like Hitler isn't about admiration, it's about awareness. The more we understand how such leaders gain power, the better we can protect democracy, truth, and human dignity. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, consider subscribing for more content on history and critical thinking. Let us know in the comments what lessons you believe the modern world should take from Hitler's rise to power. And remember, history isn't just about the past, it's a mirror for the present. Let's use it wisely